Hey guys, Jonah here, and welcome to the Jonah Gaming channel where we discuss dad gear, Gundam, and games. We also stream on Facebook Live every Wednesdays at 9 p.m. So hopefully you guys can check out our channel there as well. And if you want more content like this, please do like and subscribe. It really helps out a lot. So today we're discussing this thing, which is the Mario Kart live home circuit. So we got our copy from our friends over at Datablitz. So this is not a sponsored post. We actually bought everything that we're going to be showing to you today. And we got it at around 7,495 pesos, which I know is a bit of a premium over the $99 price tag that it has. And it does say it's the Hong Kong version, so I'm not so sure if that has to do anything with that higher price tag, but nonetheless, it's here. So in just one day, it was already delivered and super convenient. However, of course, you have to pay a shipping fee on top of that. So let's unbox this thing. Opening the box, you are greeted by this manual. So since this is the Hong Kong version, you'll get this in not English. I don't know what language this is, probably Chinese or Japanese. So right here you have your USB Type-C cable, which is really short. So next you get some gates, and so basically this is what the game sees for you to be able to set up your track in the game. And finally you get the actual cart, which is, for this one we got Mario, so it also comes in a Luigi variant if you want to do multiplayer. I think this one you can play up to 4 players, but then for us we only got one because you need a Switch for every cart that you purchase, and I only have one. So if you take a better look at this cart, it's actually made mostly of plastic, and if you look closer, even though it is made of plastic, it is very durable. This thing I have bumped so many times already, but it doesn't even show any signs of wear and tear. And in terms of the detail, you can also see that even Mario there is actually pretty well made, with the blue eyes plus his hands holding the steering wheel. Even those knuckles from his gloves, you can see it's just a really well-made toy. And I think it's one of the things that surprised me about this whole thing was that it's so well made and it feels very premium, and definitely that price tag is a bit high, but I think you're getting your money's worth for this particular kit. Now, the main feature of this that sets it apart from being just a toy is this camera. So this is the camera that is mounted on the cart itself, so it's not really detachable. However, it is the one that sends data towards your Switch via Wi-Fi, but just so you know, you can't play online with this thing. So the kit also comes with 4 gates that you will be using in order for you to set up your own track. If you get one of the gates, it's all folded up, and it actually features like a 90s themed Mario Kart graphic that you would see, and you'd have to face it in a way that shows the numbers so that the game can actually recognize it as a marker for you during the in-game session, right? So to set it up, you just have to unfold these and basically just set them down, and you're done. And these are all made out of cardboard. However, it is very well made, still feels very good, and it looks to be very durable. Just of course, don't unfold it the wrong way, and don't get it wet for obvious reasons. And I think these should last you a long time. Nintendo also has the same graphics for download over at their website, which I'll put in the link down below. However, I think it's going to be very hard for you to print that out and set it up the same way that these gates look right here. It also comes with these 2 waypoints, so you don't necessarily have to use these. However, if you do use these are pretty cool because in-game it shows up in this very bright rainbow color that basically shows you where you're supposed to turn depending on where you put it on your track. And it's just a really nice touch that Nintendo has been able to do here. So to be able to set this thing up, you're going to be needing your Nintendo Switch and everything that comes in the box. And the first thing that you would be doing is to be downloading the free software that comes with the game. You can actually download it even without the cart, but of course you wouldn't be able to play it. You just search MK Live on the search bar on the eShop, and you should be able to find the software and to be downloading it within minutes. Now, after downloading said game, you're going to be asked to pair the cart with your Nintendo Switch, and it's a very easy process. So for you to be able to pair your cart with the Switch, you're going to need to turn on the ignition, which is found on the right side of the cart here. And if you turn that on, there are going to be two lights that light up, and that signifies that it is ready for pairing, right? And then there will be a QR code that's going to be shown. Please don't scan that yourself. And if you scan it with your cart, it should already connect and you're good to go. So the first thing that you're going to be asked to do is to put your cart down, right? And this is where you're going to be starting your journey. And it has these cool effects where Mario comes out of the pipe. He kind of knocks on the screen to signify that, you know, there's this fourth wall breaking thing that's happening, but this is where you're already ready to go. This mode that you're going to be entering is called Explore mode, which is basically, ano ba to? Parang open world. And you can basically already control the cart from there. And this is where you can actually already check out your surroundings. If there's anything that you want to take away, or if there's something that you want to put. Of course, please do mind that the connection here is not that great. Like it won't go through walls that well. One thing that I think hinders that good connection is that the Switch probably doesn't have that strong Wi-Fi hardware inside of it, considering that they probably had to cut down on the costs on some of the hardware in your Switch, so be mindful of that. Alright, so after you've paired your cart with the Nintendo Switch and you're already in Explore mode, you've already driven around your space and you're ready to make your track. So you're going to be setting up these gates that you were provided with in the kit. So you can place these gates anywhere in your space. And I think the only thing that you have to watch out for is that they have to be sequential in your plan for where you're going to put the track. And you're going to have to set it up in a way that you're able to return to the first gate coming from the fourth gate. So this is where it gets fun, because you can now decorate your space on every gate. And there are some things that you have to be mindful of. Basically, since you're racing in a real life track, and of course you're going to be going a bit fast, and since this is a real cart, so there's some danger in putting these valuable items in your track, because since you're racing in like a real life context, although you get to see it in AR, you still physically bump them, and you will bump them, believe me, because even though the handling of this is pretty good in the game, which we will be discussing later, there's still going to be that tendency that when you're gonna try to catch up in a race and you just go all mad, you're bound to hit something. And just be very aware of that fact so that you don't put very valuable things in your racetrack that would be in danger of breaking. So my particular track has 4 phases. So the first gate would lead you into what I would call the Amiibo and Funko Avenue. So basically I lined up all of my Amiibo and my Funko, which is just my Tekken Funko, which would lead me into this kind of vinyl section. And you go through that over to gate 2, where the next phase would be like Gundam Alley or something. And going through this very, very small pathway. And this pathway, actually, I would advise against, because when you're racing in the game itself, the pathway might be blocked by some hazards, or sometimes the AR won't be able to record the track itself because it might be too narrow. And basically, it's going to be harder for you to be racing through that, because it takes a bit of precision to be able to not only get it in the game itself, but also for the cart to not bump narrower pathways. Okay, so the third section is basically just some boxes that I have. So they range from the game peripherals that we have reviewed on this channel, plus all of the Gundam boxes that were lying around. I put them just so to decorate the space, and you won't have to see like under my table or the back of my couch, and it just looks pretty nice in-game as well. Now, the fourth phase, we have basically, I lined up all of my PS4 and Nintendo Switch games to be able to recreate some sort of turn on the track. So I also put in some random items like our wedding photo book, plus some of the toys that I have, like Cloud and his bike. And yeah, I would soon regret bumping into some of these things, but hey, well worth it if you're able to see it on screen and it looks really, really good. All right, so the next phase in setting up your game, and we're almost done here, is to actually paint the racetrack. So once you've set up your gates, you've decorated your space, it's now time to actually set up your track on the Switch. And it's very cool how they did it. Basically, you see the Cloud guy, I forget his name, but then he's going to be putting some paint on your tires. You will have a run-through of your track in-game, and the game is going to be capturing whatever that run-through is, and it's going to be saved as your actual track. So one thing to note in setting up your track is that the game does not recognize any physical objects that you put in your track other than the gates and the waypoints that come with the kit. So whatever hazards that you put in the middle of your space, the game will not be able to recognize that. And the implication is that when you're racing against the AI in the game, they can just run past through it, and you yourself have to also like avoid it in order for you to move forward. And that's something that can be a very unpleasant experience in game. However, if you want the challenge, then it's going to be there. So after you've painted your track, all you have to do now is to get your license. So it's pretty cool. You get this cart that you have and point the camera to your face, like just taking a selfie, and then you'll have your license in game as well. And after that, time to race. So the game acts like a normal Mario Kart game where you run around the racetrack trying to get first place, but also having items that you will be able to acquire in order for you to get ahead faster. So shells, bananas, some special items like the bullet bill that makes the steering automatic based on where your track is. All of these are present in the game. What's amazing here is that the game actually does AR not only in the items that you see, but also in the environment. It transforms your space into these real-life Mario Kart environments. So it can be underwater, it can be through sand, and whatever Mario environment there is. It's just pretty cool to actually see these on screen, and it adds a lot more enjoyment to what you're actually doing here. So at the end of the day, who is this for? So I think if you are a hardcore Mario Kart player and you compete online or you compete a lot with your friends, this may not necessarily be that next level that you're looking for. This is more of a casual gaming session that just highlights some of the tech that Nintendo has been able to do, and it's just a very cool implementation of how they're able to utilize AR into the Nintendo Switch. And that's just something that I think can be improved upon in the future. This is a very good example of where AR could be headed, and I'm all for it. However, it also comes at a big price tag, and I think not everybody is willing to shell out that kind of money for this kind of item. But I think if you're a fan of Mario Kart, or if you want to play a game that's very involved, this is something that you might want to check out. And that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and if you want to see more content like this, please do like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.